Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video I'm going to be doing something a lot different than what I usually do. But this is because something's been going on in the What If community recently that I just felt like I needed to address. Now this video is going to be in 4 parts. Some context, what the problem is, why the problem has come to arise, and solutions. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Part 1. Context. So basically, one day, I was just scrolling through YouTube, and I just saw Razer, and Razer apparently posted something saying that his videos weren't receiving as much views as normal, and that he said that he had looked at other people's YouTube channels and that they were also not getting as much views as they used to be getting. Now this heavily intrigued me because I hadn't noticed this, and I decided to go check it out. First of all, in Razer's poll, approximately off the top of my head, it was about 70% of the people said they still watched What Ifs. Now, you guys are probably seeing the stats up on screen right now, but me recording this, I'm not looking at it. So, looking at that already tells you that there are actually quite a couple people who have stopped watching What Ifs. But just like a small percentage of people not watching What Ifs anymore doesn't really show much, and is actually quite normal because people's interests change, and it's normal that some people stop liking something and then new people come and they start liking it, and so that always is gonna inevitably happen. So is there really a problem? So this is when I decided to go look into the stats of all of the popular YouTubers and see if anything was actually happening. Part 2, the problem. Now, I immediately got to investigating, looking at every channel's stats and seeing if views were actually decreasing. Now, after looking at the views, I decided that although the amount of views they were getting seemed to slightly decrease, after assessing what it was like maybe a couple months ago, it didn't seem that much different. But I couldn't tell much just by looking at their video views, so I decided to go to my trusty assistant, Social Blade. And on Social Blade, I looked at all of their stats, checking their total video views weekly, and seeing if their views were actually on a steady decline. And what I saw surprised me, because instead of declining as Razer said, some of the YouTubers' views were actually increasing. Now, Social Blade seemed to say that although maybe views weren't as good as they were back when Anime X was around, Anime X has been gone for a very long time now. So, looking at the stats, the total number of views that people have been gaining almost seems pretty normal. And I couldn't really see any signs of heavy decreases in the number of views. Now, this brings me to part 3. What's causing this so-called problem? Now, in my opinion, there are actually a lot of things that are causing this problem. Well, first of all, and most importantly, people are running out of ideas. Back when, What Ifs first started to get popular, people could just do, what if Naruto was an Uchiha? What if Naruto had the Rinnegan? What if Naruto had the whatever eye? And just get away with it, getting a lot of views and creating the most popular video they had. But now, as more and more and more people start to, start creating What Ifs, and also, people start overusing what if ideas. Now, what this means is after seeing what if Naruto was an Uchiha by 5 different YouTubers like 10 times, it generally starts to get boring and repetitive, which can be a big part of the reason why people are not watching what ifs as much anymore. Now, people are actually starting to get creative with these ideas, and people like Zether and Harry Fox, for example, are coming up with really good ideas, and I don't understand how, but they are. And in my opinion, it's really cool how in this situation where most of the very popular ideas seem to have already been used, they're still coming up with brand new stuff that almost nobody has used before. And this is true because, there's a lot of stuff to do in anime. Now, another thing that people seem to be ignoring is one of the reasons that those videos got a lot of views. People have to start making videos based on what the trends are right now. For example, if you look at all of these YouTubers like top 10 videos, a Gojo video from about a year ago is almost certainly up there. If you're wondering why, it's because right about around then, Satoru Gojo What Ifs and Jujutsu Kaisen was very popular, and so if anybody made a what if on that, it would immediately get very popular. Now, since Gear 5 happened and Goku became a god of destruction, a video like what if Naruto was a god of destruction or had Gear 5, something like that, could get a lot of views, and I feel like people aren't taking big advantages of this. So yeah, now on to part 4. Let's assume the worst, right? Let's say that what ifs are dying, even though most evidence seems to point in another direction. What can we do to prevent this? Now, first of all, that whole thing I said based on getting better ideas still applies, and another way to expand on this is to create what ifs for different series. So, series? Wow, my grammar. But basically, instead of just doing Naruto and MHA what ifs, some people like me, I only do Naruto what ifs. So instead of that, expanding and doing different what ifs can bring in a different audience, and they can start watching the videos, and what ifs can get more popular like that. Another way to kickstart this process of making what ifs more popular is if a big YouTuber returned to making videos. For example, somebody like Izukage, who hasn't been uploading for a while, and Anime Outlet, who stopped uploading, and there are a bunch of other people. But if they returned, I feel like at least for a little bit, maybe not permanently, but temporarily, views in what ifs would increase. And the final solution, and I feel the biggest thing, the reason for this decline in, supposed decline, because, there isn't a lot of evidence supporting it, this supposed decline in what if views is us. Well, who decides how many views a video gets? The viewers, because they're the one giving the views and the likes. Now, how can we fix this? Well, if you are a part of the what if community and you want to make what ifs more popular, then just going to a bunch of what if YouTubers like me and Zether and Harry Fox, Rogue X, Bleach on Bound, there are a bunch of what if YouTubers out there, and just going to all of their videos, giving them a watch, liking, subscribing, commenting on their videos actually helps out a lot with the algorithm. And if a bunch of people just went there and liked that video would get promoted in the algorithm and more people would start watching it, which would make the video get more views. Which, that's pretty self-explanatory. So now, since you guys sticked around all the way until the end, I have a bit of a gift for you all. Because right now, you might be thinking, wow, what ifs are dying? That's sad. But to be honest, think on the bright side, because a lot of these strategies that I talked about implementing on how to make what ifs more popular are already being put into use. And I feel like a bunch of these things I mentioned, a lot of YouTubers are already doing, which is a really good start. And another thing is, even if maybe people are slowly stopping watching anime what ifs, the stats don't suggest a huge change in the number of people watching what ifs. So if you're somebody who wants to make an anime what if channel and you want to try growing your channel and you feel like, well, since what ifs aren't popular anymore, you won't be able to grow, don't think that, because according to the statistics, nothing's changing. And that means that what ifs are still popular, because numbers don't lie. And yeah, that is going to be all for today's video. And if you did enjoy this what if, oh my god, I'm so used to recording what ifs, but if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe and share this around to other people, just to, help them understand what's going on. And yeah, that's really all I wanted to say. So, goodbye. See you next time.